One of the common practices for making recordings back in the 60s and 70s was to record in mono, especially when you're using just voice recordings. By recording in mono, it essentially doubles the length of the tape because you're only recording on one side in mono as opposed to using two tracks for stereo. And when you're using the unit like this, recording on the right channel going forward, right channel coming back, left channel going forward, left channel going back, you can essentially get 4 different programs onto one tape. And you can further extend the length of the tape by dropping the speed down to 1 7/8 inches per second, which is perfectly fine for voice recordings. This recording today we're going to be listening to is from Paul Harvey. It's a Paul Harvey radio show from back in the day. I think it's 74 or so. And it's recorded at 3 3/4 inches per second. We're going to listen to it in the forward mode, starting out with the right channel, and then we'll listen to the left channel for a little bit.
Gurney, who is a member of the Watergate Committee, says, on the other hand, that this practice can be carried on beyond what's reasonable and sensible, and he believes the news media has destroyed public esteem for all public officials and thus has subverted our government system. He says neither the Watergate Committee nor the House Judiciary Committee has reached any announced conclusion, but with no new evidence since the hearing is concluded, the public opinion of the president has been poisoned by the press. And P.S. photographer James Moan has been suspended by the Associated Press. This photographer has been suspended by his employer because during last year's infamous occupation of Wounded Knee, he, photographer Moan, gave information to the FBI.
Now we'll listen to the left channel.
After isolation and identification would be vaccination against it. You know, that flu that's going around is nothing to sneeze at. School absenteeism is up. In Los Angeles, 3 children have died of complications, the so-called Ray's syndrome, the liver disorder, which appears to be connected to type B flu. Pope Paul is sick in bed for the 2nd time in 3 weeks. This bug has a way of letting you out of bed and then knocking you down again. Transportation Secretary Brinegar says by summer, 40% of our nation's oil will be imported from nations which have raised their prices. Louisiana Senator Long says there's plenty more oil where ours came from, that we are recovering only about 1/3 of the oil in our present wells, but secondary recovery is expensive. With higher prices, we may reopen some abandoned fields.
This is the Sony TC-580 reel-to-reel.